because of the events of last night. David Bossie, Deputy Trump Campaign Manager in 2016, is with us. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
One thing that was talked about a lot was the VP pick. Is it J.D. Vance? Is it Doug Burgum? Is it Marco Rubio? Nikki Haley, who wasn't invited to the convention, is now giving a speech on Tuesday night. How does the events of last night change the VP pick, because now Americans are looking at a vice president in a different way than they have in 40 years?
You're so right. You know, before yesterday's events, talking about the VP pick was just a conjecture, and people just would talk in generalities about it. Once you saw the bullets flying past Donald Trump's head, that realization that Joe Biden or Donald Trump, when he gets elected in November, whoever they pick is literally a heartbeat away. We say it, guys like us, it's truly a snap of the fingers. And we got so lucky yesterday. Having, almost lost him yesterday is an incredible thing. I've known him a long, long time. And it was a very emotional thing to watch him and to see that, and to understand from his point of view that they've tried to destroy him, they've tried to jail him, and now they've tried to kill him. And it is really...
I'm glad you brought that up, because you got this movie coming out. The President Trump's going to be at the premiere of, about him. And so much of it was shot and done before the debate. And I think you would agree, you've known him for 16 years, the Donald Trump post-debate, these last 2 weeks and 3 days, is a totally different Donald Trump. Much more disciplined, a lot more reserved, very different in demeanor. And he hasn't spoken since the shooting last night. Something very different. We wouldn't have seen that in 2016. So there's two ways this convention can go. It can go the rabid way of the Democrats tried to kill him and we're coming out, or it can go that Republicans are going to show leadership and be the ones to bring down the temperature. Which one would you advise? Which one do you expect?
Well, I think President Trump is a leader, and there's no greater leader in what you saw on the stage after the shooting. When he got up,
he understood,
and he understood that in that moment he had to show the American people that he was okay.
Yep.
And that he's a fighter. He's resilient. I mean, and then today he's out playing 18 holes of golf this morning. Actually, just remarkable.
Totally
agreed.
Agreed. But leadership in that moment was showing America that he was right. And I take your point, chanting in the crowd, fight, fight, fight. But showing leadership on this stage and saying that I can be the one to change America for the better.
I think you're going to see a conversation about unity. I think you're going to see
what does
a conversation.
That mean? What does unity mean?
I think what he's hoping is to dial back the nasty, hate-filled rhetoric. And I got to be honest with you, we have been saying for years that the fake news media, and that's not everybody in the business, but it is predominant across the biased mainstream media, that they have really, in our opinion, my opinion, really raised the level of anger and hatred across this country. You see The View and these other shows.
We're going to get to the media part in a minute, but
okay.
I think it's a great point about who then, is it President Biden here in 11 minutes, or is it Donald Trump on Thursday night, who is the first one to say, okay, not only is political violence wrong, blah, 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 but is actually going to say, I'm going to stop the rhetoric on both sides that caused this. And granted, Donald Trump's the one who got shot yesterday, so it shouldn't be on him.
And
but
let me just say, Joe Biden, just this week, Joe Biden and his team said, let's put the bullseye on Donald Trump. That came from the Biden camp. That's not being, in my opinion, talked about enough.
Fair enough.
That's the rhetoric that's being talked about, and then you want to say, oh well, let's put it all on Donald Trump.
I asked a really important question though, because showing leadership is oftentimes being the one to take the first step.
I get it, but you also have to understand.
He just got shot yesterday.
Well, there's a couple of things. They're trying to jail him. They are using a corrupt system. The Department of Justice and state prosecutors and attorneys general across this country.
Yeah, but if you want to appeal to moderate, middle America, they don't care about that. They care about the border.
Well, no, clearly
they care about crime.
No, clearly they do, because Donald Trump's numbers went up all throughout that corrupt trial in New York. And so I'm not saying everybody agrees with that, but there's the middle ground.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.